Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time again.
It's time for the J. Craig 5, maybe 10-minute movie review.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another edition of the J. Craig 5-minute movie review. I am Jay of the J. Craig podcast. If you haven't done so already, click on that button on the bottom right of your screen right there, subscribe button, and you'll get our movie review releases as well as the J. Craig podcast episodes that we release twice a month. Well, let's get to it. Last night I saw Annihilation, which comes out tomorrow, so it's a quick turnaround time for this review. It stars Natalie Portman, Tessa Thompson, Oscar Isaac, Jennifer Jason Leigh, and Benedict Wong, and directed by Alex Garland, who did Ex Machina several years back. So because of the director and the writer director and the cast is what grabbed my attention immediately, because when I first read the log line, I was not very interested. For instance, the very first log line I ever read was, a biologist signs up for a dangerous secret expedition in which the laws of nature don't apply. It doesn't really interest me. So the next one I read was, where did it go? Hello. Biologist's husband disappears. She puts her name forward for an expedition into an environmental disaster zone, but does not find what she's expecting. The expedition team is made up of a biologist, an anthropologist, and several more scientists. So, again, it wasn't the log line, it was the people involved that got my interest. So, I'm glad I got a chance to see it, however. I wish I had more time to process the movie because there's a lot going on. And like a good sci-fi movie, it's packed full of ideas and themes and just loaded with high concept ideas. So very impressive. But here's what the story is about. I'm trying to do my best to not give you any information that's going to come as a surprise. It's about an alien. It's about a life form that is growing. And anything that they send into this area, which is covered by a veil or a shimmer or a kind of like a force field of ways, nothing's coming out. It's not harming anything, but nothing's coming out. So they don't know what's going on behind this thing. So nothing comes out until something finally does. And that's where the story kicks off. And that's your inciting incident. And so the story starts, and then they send a group of women in. And that's where you've seen the trailers where Natalie Portman and a group of women are heading into this shimmer, is what they call it. So that's what the story's about. I don't want to say anything more because there's a lot of discovery. There's a lot of interesting things that happen, and I don't want to ruin it because it's a very unique movie. So I'm going to leave the story at that. Now, I want to talk about sci-fi because in terms of science fiction, this movie is going to sit at the table of Arrival and Ex Machina and the more recent, really good, true sci-fi movies, right? You know, you have your Star Wars, your Star Trek, you have your, space exploration movies and stuff like that. But a good sci-fi, and why those are sci-fi movies in one way, shape, or form, a good sci-fi movie is something that doesn't have to be exploration in that way. It could be exploration of nature, of mankind, and the relationship between the two. It's that kind of stuff that makes this movie strong. And I really highly recommend you go see it if you like sci-fi movies. And it rivals Arrival for one of the best sci-fi movies of recent years. Now, while it's complicated and very, very beautiful, Natalie Portman shines in this movie. She has a role that you think is the layers of her onion get peeled off, as well as the story, and more make sense as you watch it. So it's a well done, crafted movie. Now, I believe that the Alex Garland did not reread the source material before making this movie. So I think what he said was making like a dream of it, like what he remembers of it. And so it's unique in the way that it does feel like a dream in many ways. So, but Natalie Portman's character is a powerhouse, and she is very emotional throughout the movie in so many different ways, and she brings so much emotion out in me, and I was really impressed. So very, very awesome performance by her. Not enough of a performance by Oscar Isaac, unfortunately, but he's really good in what he's in. There's also a good genre blending between sci-fi and sci-fi horror. Of course, you've seen the trailer, so hopefully that's not a spoiler for you, but there is some elements of that at play as well. So it takes a lot of stuff and kind of melts it together and blends it together, and there's a nice metaphor, symbolism going on there between what's going on in the movie as well. So it's a very well-crafted movie, and ultimately, I'd love to hear what you have to think about it because as a good sci-fi movie, it's one that needs to be talked about. So leave me your comments below. Let me know what you thought about it. And, of course, you know where to find us next time. Thank you for listening to the J. Craig 5-minute movie review of Annihilation. Bye.